Welcome back to Insurance Talk Texas. I'm your host, and if you are a business owner or an employee with health benefits, you need to lean in today. We are exactly 8 days away from a massive federal deadline that is flying under the radar for most folks. I'm here with my co-host, and we are talking about the February 16th HIPAA reset.
You aren't kidding. While everyone is still dealing with the fallout of the January freeze, the legal department at the Department of Health and Human Services has been busy. If you haven't updated your notice of privacy practices by next Monday, you are technically out of compliance.
It sounds like a lot of red tape, but it's actually a huge win for privacy. And before we get into why this matters for your medical records, this show is brought to you by Schell Insurance. They've been protecting Texans for generations, literally since 1930. When laws change, like they are right now, you need an agency that's already ahead of the curve. Give them a call at 972-423-4546.
So what is this February 16th deadline all about? It's specifically about how substance use disorder records are handled. The new rules, which align with the CARES Act, mean that health plans and providers have to be much more transparent about how this sensitive data is shared.
Exactly. In the past, these records were governed by different, sometimes confusing sets of rules. Now, they are being brought under the broader HIPAA umbrella, but with even stricter consent requirements. If you're a business owner offering a group health plan, you are responsible for making sure your employees get a new Notice of Privacy Practices that reflect these 2026 changes.
And here's the kicker. If you have a company website where you post your plan info, that updated notice has to be live by Monday, February 16th. If you don't have a website, you've got 60 days to mail it out. But why wait? The liability of having outdated privacy language is just not worth it in this litigious environment.
It's not just health insurance, though. We're also seeing the first transparency reports being generated this week under House Bill 2067. Remember we talked about this back in January. Insurance companies now have to tell the Texas Department of Insurance exactly why they are canceling or non-renewing policies.
This is the first check-in week for that data. We're starting to see the trends of why carriers are pulling back in North Texas, whether it's roof age, credit scores, or claim history. For the first time, the consumer has the upper hand because the data isn't a secret anymore.
That's a game changer for shopping around. If a carrier non-renews you for a risk profile change, you can now demand the specific data they sent to the state. And that leads us to our Insurance Talk Texas action plan for this week.
Step 1. For the business owners, check with your health insurance carrier or your TPA today. Ask them, have we updated our Notice of Privacy Practices for the February 16th deadline? If they say, what deadline? You need to call Schell Insurance immediately.
Step 2. For the employees, look at your email or your mailbox next week. If you see a privacy update from your health plan, don't just throw it away. Read the section on substance use records. It's your data, and you now have more control over who sees it and how it's used in legal proceedings.
And step 3, if you've been denied coverage recently, use the new HB 2067 laws to your advantage. Ask for the written explanation. Then take that explanation to the team at Schell Insurance. They can look at those specific pain points and find a carrier that doesn't have those same restrictions.
That's the power of an independent agency. They don't just take no for an answer. They look for the yes with another carrier. Give them a shout at 972-423-4546.
8 days and counting, folks. Get those privacy notices updated and stay protected.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week as we dive into the new March building codes. Stay safe, Texas.